cryptids, we're talking about UFOs, fake aliens, real aliens. Come on now, Bubba. I digress. I apologize.
I hope your minds are ready to get blown.
It's about to get weird.
Let's get the show on the road.
What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. You can go through the list and say what's up to you guys. That was a non-copyright Without Me remix. Somebody said that they had lost a sound throughout it. That sucks, but we'll see what's good. Damn, man, let me take the photo of the dog off. What's good, y'all? Good morning. I had to get on here and talk to you guys. A couple of news articles I saw blew my mind. We're going to be doing some reruns of Late Night Hideout and different episodes of Pilgrim Radio Live and different collaborations. I put the link for that in the chat as well. Bug Dude, my brother, what's up? John H, what's up? Hutch, what's up? Northern Girl Hobbies, what's up? Joe Morgan, what's up? Klingon Princess, what's up? Leslie, what is up? True American Loretta, how are you doing? I think that that pretty much covers everybody in here. You guys like that song? They cut the song off. It was supposed to be non-copywritten remix. I'm going to have to make my own to become the theme song of Pilgrim Radio Live. Yeah, On Mondays, you guys will notice that on Mondays and Thursdays, you'll see me live in the morning time, the afternoons. Show you guys. Is there sound again? Are we 5x5, everybody? Oh shit. Are we 5x5? Are we good? 20x20? Let me see. Guess I'll start. Kind of waiting for everybody to mull around a little bit. That is not what I'm reading for you guys. So this was whenever I got up this morning, probably about an hour ago. This article popped up on there saying police soldiers bring lethal skill to militia campaigns against U.S. government. All right, and it says thousands of police and soldiers, people professionally trained in the use of violence and familiar with military protocols, are part of an extremist effort to undermine the U.S. government and subvert the democratic process. Now, this is from The Conversation. Never heard of it, but it was on my computer's news thing. So this seems like they're trying to push more anti-military, anti-patriotic, some kind of anti-America sentiment, I guess. You know, because they were saying a lot of the people, the January 6th thing, were military and police too, to kind of add to the hate of them. You know, to kind of make people not respect them like they should be. According to an investigative report published in The Atlantic in November, into a leaked database kept by the Oath Keepers, one of several far-right and white supremacist militias, they called the Oath Keepers a far-right and white supremacist militia, that stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. 10% of Oath Keepers are current police officers and military members. Another significant portion of the group's membership is retired military and law enforcement personnel. The hate group, founded by a former Army paratrooper after Barack Obama's 2008 election, claimed an improbable 30,000 members who are said to be currently and former military, law enforcement, and emergency first responders. In 2016, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, the Three Percenters, another militia present at the Capitol on January 6, also draws a substantial portion of its members from law enforcement, both military and civilian. What this has me thinking is we might have more of these dudes on our side once the shit does hit the fan. Once the CW does pop off, if it does, there might be more of these guys, because you're definitely going to have a good amount of the military and the police on your side for any successful revolution of any kind. You know, if you look at any of them in history, you had to. The military and police are essential for any kind of success that we'd have. Larry Brock, a pro-Trump rider arrested with zip-tie handcuffs allegedly for taking hostages, is a retired Air Force lieutenant colonel who posted content from the Three Percenters online. The militia movement is a militarized stream of the American far right. Its members promote an ideology that undermines the authority and legitimacy of the federal government and stockpile weapons. When militia members have a professional background in the military or police, it enhances the ability of these groups to execute sophisticated and successful operations. It also helps them convey a patriotic image that obscures the security threat they present. Yeah, that dude looks badass. And it says, long-standing ties. The day before the Biden inauguration, by late afternoon, 12 National Guardsmen deployed to Washington, D.C. had removed from duty after an investigative problem in their past. 2 had apparent ties to right-wing militias. Now, you guys remember all that whenever this was going down? I'm starting. This is kind of like where the beginning of it was for me, and I started noticing they was hating on military and police, you know, and active duty people. Far right elements have always been present in U.S. security forces, in somewhat. Throughout the 20th century, many local police departments were heavily populated with Ku Klux Klan members. The connections between terror groups and law enforcement enabled discrimination and violence against African Americans, Jews, and other minorities. In 1923, all the black residents of Blandford, Indiana, were forced out of town to an unknown location following accusations that an African American man assaulted a young girl. The unlawful deportation was conducted and organized by the local sheriff, a Klansman with the assistance of the local Klan chapters. Many U.S. military bases also had cells in neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups throughout the 20th century. In 1995, 3 paratroopers from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, were arrested and charged in the killing of a black couple in Fayetteville. 2 more sentenced to life in prison for the murders. The Army initiated an investigation at the base, which was known for being a hub of the National Alliance, then the country's most influential American neo-Nazi group. I like how they keep on trying to equate neo-Nazis with Oath Keepers or 3%ers, with patriotism. Yeah, that's kind of weird. And they keep on naming these white supremacist motivated deaths, but what about all the deaths that go unreported from other minorities? You know what I mean. You guys catch my drift? That's a kind of a I don't want to be offensive. I'm not trying to sound offensive at all, but I don't believe in the statistics, but if you were to believe in the statistics, you would know that more hate crimes come from a different portion of the population. But even though we're all together, we're all the same, we're all turned against each other by these Luciferians, you would know that today, at least, and I think in the last 20 years, most of the hate crimes, it's been reversed. It's a reverse. If you look at all the footage, it's a reverse if you look at footage from back in the 50s and 60s and today. And none of it's right. I'm not saying any of that was ever right, but it's definitely a reverse. I don't think the white supremacy is a problem. The Army identified and discharged 19 paratroopers for participating in hate activities. One went on to kill 6 worshipers in a Sikh temple in Oak Creek, Wisconsin in August 2012. He died of a police shootout. Concerns about the penetration of far-right elements into the military and law enforcement have become acute in the last decade with the emergence of militias like the Oath Keepers, which was founded on the principle of recruiting police and military. Oath Keepers pledged to disobey orders on the job which they deemed contradict the Constitution. The militia's success secretly infiltrating police departments contributed to the emergence of new far-right associations that openly recruit law enforcement, like the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers of America, which I don't think any of the ones in Tennessee are a part of that, because I think all 88 of the sheriffs, 88 counties here, voted against constitutional carry. Bastards. Founded in 2011 by former Arizona Sheriff Richard Mack, the group promotes the notion, contrary to the Constitution, that the federal government authorities should be subordinated to local law enforcement. It has more than 500 sheriffs nationwide. Just over half are currently in office. The Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers of America has pushed its members not to enforce gun control laws and pandemic-related mask regulations that they believe infringe on civil liberties. So the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers of America kick ass, it sounds like. It appears to be. When members of far-right groups are professionals sworn to protect the nation and their communities, it makes those groups seem more legitimate. Authorities may be less likely to treat them as domestic terrorist threats, a categorization that would limit their success to firearms in sensitive locations. Yet military and police members actually make American militias more effective, according to my research on the violent practices of the American far right. And that's whoever wrote this story. Look at this, somebody else dressed up like a badass. Look at all these patriots. That would have been awesome to have been there. How many of you guys are there in the chat? And this is Ari Paralinger, Ari. A data set I manage with my team at the University of Massachusetts Lowell and used for my recent book on right-wing terror shows that militia attacks are more lethal than those of other far-right groups. The perpetrators are experienced with weapons and ammunition and have at least some military training. Attacks by other far-right groups are, in large measure, initiated by people with limited operational experience who act spontaneously. Militias are also likely to attack secured, high-value targets like government facilities. Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, is a prime example. He is a Gulf War veteran associated with the Michigan militia, whose bomb killed 168 people at the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in 1995. The penetration of far-right militants into the ranks of police and the military seems to be driving an increase in direct attacks on police and military targets. Between 1990 and 2000, 13% of U.S. militia attacks and plots are aimed at military police installations or personnel, or data set shows. The proportion jumped to 40% by 2017. And with their training and surveillance, intelligence collection, and public safety, the dangerous activities of militias are generally harder for federal agencies to monitor and counter. When militias recruit professionals, they are better off at waging their radical crusade, blah, blah, blah. Ari Paraleaguer, whoever that is, receives funding from the U.S. Department of Justice and U.S. Department of Defense. The person that wrote this article, douchebag. Yeah, it seems like they're trying to push for an anti-American sentiment for sure with all this shit. And they're trying to say everything is a militia. Anytime you meet your buddies to hang out, it's a militia. So, yeah, I had to get that out of there, get that out of my system. Who here? So we got some new people in the chat. But yeah, they know people are arming up. Exactly. Jeep, what's good? Roman Prepper, what's good? Who else we got in here? Yeah, this is then exactly Klingon. Yeah, this definitely popped up in my mind. That was definitely a narrative pushing story. But what's crazy is there are millions of people who believe the same thing as that Ari guy or girl or whoever it was, the person who wrote that article. That's a very one-sided article for sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. They try to act like they act like only professional, like trained people, police and stuff like that know how to use weapons and know how to take care of themselves. Patricia Skubish. Yeah, and they've already, Green Thumb Prepper, what's up, Bubba? And they've already been pushing this narrative, like, since those 12 National Guardsmen that they kicked off, or they kicked out. Catch back up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems like they want to be doing that shit to the people, some of those cops. Whenever you see them, like, it seems like, if they were told, hey, go round up people who don't fit this description and put them in the back of the truck, put them in one of the Mao Zedong trucks, one of them Joseph Stalin trucks where they gas you in the truck. It seems like the police over there definitely would be down for that, dude. Yeah, and remember whenever Mr. Magoo and T-Man were having their fucking, pardon my language, guys, were having their ordeal, they're having their debate with each other, right? And he was like, Antifa's just an idea. So I guess nowadays Antifa's just an idea. According to these people, they believe it takes extreme measures. Yeah, the KK has always been Democrats, dude. Funny story about those jokers. The Truman, I believe it was. I might be mistaken. Joe, you're a historian as well. You're a student of history. You might be able to help me with this one. But wasn't Truman in the Klan? The Klan is not a good thing, but it used to be like a thing that all like rich white men were in, and it wasn't a racist thing at one point. It is a bad thing. The Ku Klux Klan is bad, guys. It is not a good thing. But the Truman, who was a member of this, he was the one that integrated the military, if I'm not mistaken. And so, yeah, a lot of these dudes were involved in that. And I think they were all Democrats too, if I'm not mistaken. They're the ones trying to keep them slaves, trying to, just like stop a Reconstruction. Yes, sir. Yeah, they are fake in reverse. There's stories. So I hear stories all the time, man. let's go into that in later night. Like do that in a late night episode. Yeah, making us turn against each other, dudes. Yeah, I think it'd be better if we had war with another country, though. Honestly, I would hate to see her against each other. Even though like I would definitely never. Those are my enemies. Hey, you be safe, Roman Prepper. Even though people like that are more like my enemies, I would say, than my friends. But we're still countrymen, right? We're still kinsmen, right? So you can't. Even though we had different political beliefs. Even though they hate America and I love it, that we're still tight because we were born here in this place, man. But sometimes you gotta knock them on the head a little bit. Some of these people. Backwoods and Prepper. What's up, man? I was trying to find the email that you gave me again, but I lost it. Bushcraft family, my brother. What's good? You guys want to come up on here and do a panel? Talk about some of this shit? What do you guys think about this? Backwoods, you missed my you missed that. You might have missed that story. I hope you didn't. They're trying to say, basically, in long story short, they're saying this, man. That the military and police are highly infected with militia members, and then they're saying that oath keepers and militia people are white supremacists and connected to the Klan. Tripping, right? So that's and they've been pushing that since, like I said, them 12 National Guardsmen that got hit. I do feel that too. I know. I don't want to sound controversial, but I know a couple of fucking douchebags get. I was like, this is like, dude, because that is. It is good because somebody had made a point. It's because it's not good to judge people, but if you're in a SHTF situation, you're gonna have to judge people. You're gonna have to be like, because SHTF situation, my road rage is gonna be insane. SHTF situation, it might not be, because that might get me shot. You know what I'm saying? But you can't, and rule without law, you don't know what's going on, man. But I just went completely squirrel, dudes. Get up here, guys. Please join me. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Bubba? How you doing, man?
Tried to go to bed early last night, and my brother Mayhem was having to drive till like 2 o'clock this morning to get to a destination, a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
He called me, and so I ended up talking to him till he got to his destination. It was like 2:30 before I got to bed.
Dude, yeah, man, you don't want to fall asleep while you're driving and shit, dude.
No,
and that's why if I take a long trip, I always want to have somebody with me, or like is it talking to somebody on that phone and shit.
Yeah, well, he drives a truck all the time, and so that's not that unnormal for him, but it's unnormal to drive that late at night. He normally does all his driving during the day, but he had to work all weekend because they had some loads that they wanted to get hauled, and I guess it was meat, so they didn't want it just sitting around and going bad. So he volunteered to work all weekend basically, and so he don't normally drive that, them.
You're not there that late. I feel that.
So I stayed up and talked to him on the phone till he.
You guys were on Arkansas Prepper Networks last night for a minute. How long were you guys on there for? Like 2 hours or something?
Yeah, we was on there Saturday night. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught a little bit of that. I ended up falling asleep though, but I still got them watch hours though and shit though, because I was still listening to the shit. Dude, what did you think about them trying to demonize the police and the military and shit as being white supremacist?
Well,
That's what it sounds. That's what it seems like.
see, the thing about it is there's been this series on the Travel Channel, I think, or might be what's it called? The History Channel, or not the History, but it's the.
Well, they have a military history channel too.
Yeah, it may be that one. I've been watching it quite a bit, and it's all about the Nazis. It's all about Hitler and Nazis and all that stuff. And like last night, one of the things I was talking to Mayhem about was, you know, the Nazis, like they took over the media and they demonized people. Man, if you just look at everything they did, it's exactly what they're doing now. And this whole thing about oath keepers and militia or
labels,
patriots in the military and in the police, well, absolutely there are. I mean, they don't. People like that, especially people that join the military, are a lot of them, not all of them, but there's a lot of them type of people that's why they join. They're patriots. They want to do something for the country, so what do you expect? I know there's some of them, because I got a guy that I knew, I guess I should say, that he went into the military because he was about to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? He was about to go to the pokey for a while, and they were able to, if he joined the military, he could get his record expunged, and go to the military. But he had to sign up for it was like 8 years or something like that.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What if he didn't want to join that though before? What if he didn't want to? But
now
he has no choice. I'd rather do that than go to jail.
Yeah, he went in for that reason. Pretty much was just.
Did he like it?
Yeah, he ended up liking it and being, ended up spending quite a many years in it.
My friend's dad was in the Army for 20 years, and now he gets paid like $3,000 or $4,000 a month guaranteed from the government and shit because he did that 20 years in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. On top of his other job too. So this man's getting like $8,000 a month or some shit, dude.
Yeah.
Possibly 10. Like, that's insane.
I mean, as far as it goes, man, that's throughout history. That's what they do whenever you basically declare war on someone when you start trying to demonize them in the public perception. You're declaring war on them. And hey, Bella.
Good morning, Bella.
Yeah, you're basically, declaring war on them. And I mean, that's kind of exactly what the Nazis, what Hitler did was, if you were not fully in line with what they had on the deal, I mean, they demonized you and you end up getting killed. That's what they had, the brown shirts, they were a society of squares for real. They did not believe in drinking. They did not believe in smoking. Hitler was a vegetarian. He didn't believe in they didn't even believe in God. They wanted to get rid of the Christian religion in Nazi Germany and replace it with the ancient religion mixed with Hitler is Jesus Christ. Dude, the Nazis, including Hitler, were all meth heads.
Oh, dude, yeah, dude, yes, they was, dude, and they was all tripping. They was all taking pills and shit too. Warren was addicted to morphine because he crashed in an airplane.
They were methamphetamine people.
They used to call this shit prevalent back then, though, and they used to give it to the soldiers on the battlefield. Both sides would be taking it, and this dude would be writing letter. And I was reading these letters from this German soldier to his mother, and he'd be saying, "Mother, it's hard. We're out here. Can you please send me some money so I can get some more of these prevalent so I can keep."
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that shit, dude. People would take that people was taking that shit legally up into the 70s or something too. You know, you hear about the Beatles taking it whenever they were young back in the day.
Yeah,
But
they were
man,
bunch of meth heads.
and I think that's why they made so many mistakes too
Can you-
backwards.
Yeah, but can you think about it? They took over all them countries, man. They took
The
over all that
Blitzkrieg, dude.
territory. They took over all that territory. So all that territory, you know, they damn near with a bunch of meth heads, man. I mean, it's just funny when you stop and think about it. You know, that's why they were able to do the Blitzkrieg, man. I mean, it's god dang, they was all jacked up on meth, man.
The whole army, their whole society, the people in
yeah,
the
even the people in the streets, man, they
dude,
were
yeah,
all
dude.
fucked up, man.
These but they had that I feel like we're heading towards laws like maybe like is there a kind of a slowly led up to that, you know, but then because they didn't want the guy I think it was Paul I forgot his Paul, he was one of the two generals during World War I that was basically the supreme like military leaders of Germany, because you got to remember they're all World War I veterans, were the Nazi high command. But this guy, he did not want Hitler to become a chancellor. He didn't like his attitude. He's like, yeah, this dude does not, he doesn't seem right to me, man. I'm not going to. And this guy, but whenever he died, though, that was the last thing that, but this Hitler dude, he was a cousin fucker. And yes, he dude, you heard, dude, yeah, that's, dude, like, I know, I know a little bit more than I care to, like, to admit.
Well, as far as it goes for here, man, that's.
You think we'll reach that kind of control?
Well, it's an old, really tried and true method for that really kind of works well. You know, you pick out a certain group of people and you demonize them, and that's you just continue to put the propaganda out there, you know, and what really gets me is that they're turning on the police, the freedom fighters, they're turning on the military, that and think about that, they're turning on all the people that have all the weapons and the training.
What do you think? They want a bloodbath or some shit?
Oh, absolutely, dude. They would love for our side to kick off something.
Oh, dude, yeah. But I remember whenever that January 6th shit was happening. Do you guys know? You know, Unspecified Podcast and Review. They would cover a lot of the riots and a lot of the protests and shit last year during all that shit.
I always watch Jeff Mack.
I'm gonna check him out now. Okay. These but I was watching and I saw before all this shit went down, everybody was calm. You could see they was getting riled up a little bit though, getting excited. But then one of the police officers, one of the Metropolitan DC police, is like, fuck you, and punched one of the protesters because I guess they'd said something offensive to them. And then to me, that's whenever it looked, I'd like to find this footage again, dude, but they had to take down they had to take down all their footage from their YouTube channel that they had. But these guys, yeah, dude. But then that's whenever it all started going crazy, dude. That's whenever next thing you know, I was like, what, dude? What? I was like, what? I was like, dude, I thought it was insane. I wished I was there.
Yeah, they started. So a lot of that footage, they were trying to hide it, and now it's starting to come out from inside the White House, you know, or from inside the Congress halls. They were trying to hide all that, and now some footage has come out. I seen some the other day where the cops were sitting there talking to a couple of the people, and the people was, you know, he was like, look, if y'all just be peaceful and be calm, you know, everything's cool, man. Y'all can take your pictures and your video and stuff, and what, you know, everything's cool. That's what that cop said. The DC cop, man, yeah, he was, and that dude turns around, he goes, hey, everybody, listen, you know, let's keep it peaceful, let's keep it respectful, let's just walk around in here, we'll get our pictures. And of course, there's always some stupid idiots in the crowd, you know what I mean? But for the most part, the cops, the DC police and some of these people were talking, man. They were just standing there, and they were showing people just walking around, and the cops were standing there talking to them. So an insurrection, come on, man. See, the narrative's getting knocked down.
But then the mainstream news would probably say that those cops who was talking to those people were in on this shit too, to kind of like, that's how deep this goes, man. They're gonna try to say that those cops are in on it too, and somehow like with the protesters. Or it's crazy they keep on calling it an insurrection, dude. Like, that's so, like, an insurrection as it would have been like if there would have been bodies and shit and they would have burnt the White House down.
Well, just like what Jeep said, and I want to
see, I feel like 85% will do it.
I want to bring something up to y'all, because I don't hear this being talked about very often at all. If it goes, shit hits the fan, if it goes shift, like, what makes you think all them cops are going to be out there worried about the freaking store up the road when they've got their own family at the house?
They're going to take care of their kids, dude, their wife, man. They're going to have to, they're taking care of their family.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they're, you know, how do they go, you know, if this cop and his family lives, you know, over here, and the other cop and his family live, you know, 10 miles over that away, which ones do they go protect? You know what I'm saying? They're not going to hang up. You know, they're going to see this. And a lot of them, if it's a real shift situation, a lot of them are going to be like, hell with that. I'm going to go make sure my family's safe. You know,
like off of, that's like off that movie World War Z, whenever they's going through the convenience store and he sees the cop running at him and he drops his gun, but then the cop just grabs baby food off the shelf and runs back out the store.
Exactly.
Man. Yeah, and I feel they might become leaders of their communities and shit too. You know what I'm saying? That would be a good asset. I feel like to have it. I feel like maybe they'd let their attitude get a hold of them and shit, but I feel like maybe that'd be a good ally to have though in a SHTF situation.
Don't get me wrong. You're going to have some of them cops, man, that are order followers, regardless, just like you got in the military. So
brown shirts and shit, huh?
Them people are always going to exist. Everybody needs to understand. Them people are always going to exist, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of them that they're just going to be worried about their family. You know, they look into the crowd and they see their cousin and they see their, you know, that, I mean, they're like, I just don't believe that percentage of police officers, you know, are going to
turn against America.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't. You know.
What do you think it goes about? Like what, 50-50 or some shit maybe? I feel like maybe 60% of the cops would be against us, and 40% of them.
And I like what Hutch just said, and that right there is the key. Is after the shift happens, the people with badges, you at that point you will know is your enemy.
Straight up, dude.
See what I'm saying? So
they'd have to be enforcing some tyrannical shit for real, dude. Like they'd have to be on some evil shit to keep on doing that. You know what I mean? Like, like mentally, dude. Like. And that's a target too, because you'd see somebody with that badge and you're like, oh, he probably has some good equipment in that vehicle or some shit, or like, oh, he's probably got some stuff in his pockets I can take from him right now. I'm gonna sneak up on him.
What I'm thinking, you know, we'll leave the badge uniform there, but take all the equipment.
Dude, yeah, straight up, dude. But SHTF, dude, you'd think that those dudes, they would be like more like quick-minded, you would have to say, like more. I feel like they'd be a little bit more like sharp-minded and shit than the average person, because how they're trained to like be looking at people and shit. But I've had situations where they've accused me, and they pulled me over and they asked me, they said, do you have any meth, pills, heroin, coke, mushrooms? And I was like, and he's like, what, even a little bit of weed? And I was like, no, I got my license, I have my insurance, I have my proof of ownership of my vehicle. But they just kept on grilling me, dude. And then they started grilling my brother, and I was like, dude, you guys are insane. I was like, I'm not doing anything wrong at all, dude. I don't even have to let you search my car, dude.
Now the thing going on in Australia is that not all of them are their own police department.
Oh, from other cities? Well,
they're pretty sure they're UN troops.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them are. They brought in UN troops over there because a lot of their police officers are actually starting to stand up and say, no, we're not doing this.
Wow. Yeah, man, that's it's crazy how many of these UN troops have no problem doing this shit, though. Do you think that they'd want to do that to someone else's country, dude?
They don't. I mean, they don't know anybody. They're
these dudes are coming from what, like Ireland and like
they just got order followers, man. At that point.
But what's the majority country that these UN troops are coming from, though? Like, don't they switch that out every few years? Like, which country gives the most soldiers and shit?
I don't know, man. I can tell you though that if shit hits the fan, brother, if it goes down and things start popping off real bad, you're not going to have cops trying to pull you over and grill you, man. It's because it's going to be. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was a police officer and shit went to popping off like all over the country, first thing I would do is get rid of that uniform and anything that tied me to it.
Just keep that training, dude. Keep that mind state. Keep that training.
Like, screw this. I'm throwing all this stuff in the garbage, man. I ain't, because you're just a big target at that point. I know that, in this small town, I've been here for 18 years, man, and I know pretty much all the police officers here, man, and most of the police officers around here are.
What's up, Laura?
Most of the police officers around here are preppers. They're country boys. Everybody's, they're kin folks, and I mean, yeah, I don't see them trying to, roughshod control. I see it more as an organization. You know what I'm saying? Organizing the people to make sure we survive, kind of thing.
Heard that, like, kind of like a backbone for the like a sails for the ship of the community to help it keep on going.
Man, our sheriff, before he was sheriff, I rode the roads with this dude, man. Riding the back roads, drinking a beer, and shooting at road runners and birds and stuff, and.
You'd be doing that. Like, you guys did that shit growing up, or is that as adults? Whenever he was sheriff, was that y'all grew up together?
No, I mean, this was just before he becomes sheriff, just some years back. I mean, it's grown up. I've only been here for about 18 years, so it's been within that time frame. You know what I'm saying? We rode the roads and stuff, man. He's old country boy. Got a little homestead up there and stuff. I mean, he's a good old dude, man.
And the sheriff is like the leader of your community before your mayor is, right?
The sheriff has the most authority.
Okay. All the sheriffs in Tennessee, they came out against constitutional carry. None of them agreed to it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Y'all got the wrong sheriffs.
Yeah, they because we have some places like Memphis here and Nashville, which has like high crime rates, and they look at that as a reason why. I'm like, you're gonna let these gigantic cities affect the like these small towns where I'm at and shit, like 2,000 or 3,000 people, dude.
Well, you're always gonna have cops and stuff that don't want you carrying. They're just, they don't want you to be as equal.
Exactly.
Ground as them, but as far as it goes for, I don't know, it's constitutional carry here.
It is here still. It still got passed here though. Like, but they made it to where, but because I have a permit before this law got passed, I still have to go by the rules of that permit. Like, I can't open carry and now and shit. But if I wouldn't have got that permit, I could open carry or concealed carry. But I can only conceal carry.
Oh, here you can.
I don't really.
You can open our Supreme Court. Okay, in the last case that where a guy was open carrying and he got arrested. Okay, he took it all the way to the Supreme Court of Arkansas, and the Supreme Court of Arkansas ruled that it is not that. Okay, so let me think of how they worded this. A person can carry a weapon on or about their person in any manner. So you can carry. You're going to get you a drink of water over there, bud.
I'm listening to you still. You can carry what? Anything like
you can carry a
long
weapon.
guns, shotguns, pistols.
You can carry a weapon on or about your person in any manner. So that's on or about. Your part. You know what I'm saying? So, like when you're in a vehicle, I can have my gun laying in my seat. You ever see Arkansas Living's videos?
I've seen a couple of them. I've seen a couple of them, and he'll be in his truck.
Yeah, you ever see what's standing up in his passenger seat?
What do you got in there?
He's usually got his shotgun or AR standing up in his seat, in his passenger seat, and it's because it's legal to carry them like that here.
I don't think it's like that here in Tennessee and shit. They'd be, I don't know, man. I think they'd be tripping and shit. Because I remember growing up back in the day. Hey, Stars Prepper. I remember growing up and back in the day, like, because I'm from Louisiana originally, and they got kind of similar laws to you guys. But because I think where I'm from in Louisiana is Fort Polk. You know where that's at?
No.
But it's close to Arkansas, though. It's by Jasper, Texas, too.
I ain't been out of Arkansas very much. And
oh, really?
I had a job for about 2 years where I did have to travel out of state a lot. But other than that, I pretty much, I've been up in Missouri a couple of times. I've been over to Texas a few times. That's about it, man. I don't travel far from my homestead, man. I just don't. I feel
that. I see. I want to, because my wife, she wants to travel, dude. She just wants to go to all kinds of places and shit all the time, dude. Like all over the United States and Earth and shit. And it's like I gotta accustom myself to that for her, but that's not my vibe. You know what I mean? Like, but
right there, what Joe and Hutch is talking about, right there, that is the most important thing.
Voting locally?
Yes. That is where you start. Everybody says, how do we go about changing things? How do we go about fixing things? That is right there the main thing. Like, I want to show you something. You see this right here? See that list right there, bud?
Mm-hmm. I see it.
That's from yesterday. That they passed a bill in the House. It still has to go through the Senate, so it's not a bill yet. But it went through the House, and they voted red flag laws for the combat vets.
Really?
Yes.
So it's like marking them, and they come like this, mean like, yeah, these guys could possibly just go crazy for no reason.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, they're trying to do a nationwide red flag law for all combat vets. This right here is a list of the people in my state that voted yes on that bill.
Oh, no shit. Let me say that one more time.
Yeah. Crawford, Westerman, Womack, and Hill.
So these are all pieces of shit.
These are all actually Republicans
Really?
that claim Second Amendment, and then they turned around and voted for this bill. Guess who they're going to get to hear from?
Little Mr. Backwards and Prepper.
And maybe you know, I'm passing this.
I'll send
around.
their ass an email too, dude. I'll fucking message them and shit too. Call them.
I'm passing this shit around, man, and we're going to start flooding their damn office with emails and calls, and I'm going to pay attention to these people also when they're going to go and speak somewhere publicly. And if I got to drive 3 hours, I'm going to drive my ass up there and I'm going to call them out. I did it right down here to one of our senators down here at one of our county fairs who come here to speak, and he said something about a red flag law, and I went right down there when I found out he was going to be down there, and I called his ass out right in front of the crowd. I was like, hey man, what's this deal about y'all doing this about you looking at a red flag law?
What'd he say to you?
Well, you know, it was just a consideration, and I was like, no. I said, because if this dude over here decides he don't like me, he can just call and y'all come and take away my rights just off of what he said.
Really? That's what that shit is to you?
That's what a red flag law is. If okay, if you're dating, all right, a red flag law is if you are dating a woman, okay, y'all get into it. You know, y'all been out, y'all shot your pew-pews, you know, you've been together for a little while. All right, y'all get into it real bad. You piss her off real bad. She calls the police department and say, hey, look, this dude's got guns, man. He's talking crazy. He's doing these live streams, man. They're talking about
Jesus.
Well, a red flag law allows them to come to your house with a warrant, take your guns away from you. Then you get to go and try to prove that you're not crazy. That's called without due process. That's exactly what Trump said. We'll take the guns away first and then let due process happen. No, fuck that. That's not the law.
What, Trump said that?
Yeah, Trump said that.
I know he wasn't exactly like doing shit that was great for the 2A and shit. Like, he's putting some extra laws in there. Wow, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, so you got and
does that for all the United States or just certain places? I'm gonna have to look up into my laws.
The one they're doing in Congress, only certain states are trying to do the red flag laws. I think some states have them actually. But the one that they just did in Congress in the House has to do with nationwide. It's just basically combat vets. So if you know, it's some bullshit, man, and that's something we need to keep up with, and we need to be hitting our local level people. Voting for the president, I mean, you do the best you can on that deal, but starting at a local level, man, and getting the right people in there and grilling these people, man, talk to them, dude. This one guy, before my buddy started running for sheriff, this one guy, he was running for sheriff, and I run into him at Walmart and stood there and talked to him for 30 minutes and asked him all kinds of questions. He was with his family and shit. He was all like, well, you know, we're kind of, I was like, man, you're running for sheriff.
You gotta be willing to answer questions anytime, huh?
You're gonna answer my questions, or I'm gonna put it out there to everybody. Don't vote for this dude. He ain't got time for you. You know what I'm saying? This is the kind of stuff you got to do, man. This is why I get so mad, and people say, well, what have you been doing? Well, this is what I've been doing. I go and talk to these people, man. I go and bust them out.
Man.
Womack, Crawford, Westerman, and Hill, they're all going to get emails. They're going to get phone calls from me. And I just found all this out late last night. They're who voted, you know what I'm saying? They're all going to get the emails. They're all, public figure. Exactly, Hutch. They're a public figure. Deal with it. And, you know, Crawford, Westerman, Womack, and Hill, they're all going to get emails. They're going to get phone calls. And I'm going to look and see where they're on their itinerary and see where they're speaking at. And I'm going to drive over there and I'm gonna ask them about it. I'm gonna bust them out. Be like, man, y'all supposed to be all Republican, all Second Amendment. Why y'all say yes on this red flag law, dude?
Because they're probably getting paid money and shit too, dude. They're
Well,
probably getting paid a little.
My daddy's a veteran.
So that was like.
My daddy's a Vietnam veteran. He's a good man. He don't break the laws and stuff. Man, he's got his property up there. They sit up there. They pay their taxes. They do everything they're supposed to. And how you going to red flag law my dad? Fuck that. They come to take his guns, and guess who else is going to show up? You got to come get mine too. You ain't taking nothing from my dad. Fuck that. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
No, that's okay. We be cussing, but I just don't. Yeah, man, it makes no sense, dude. Like, because it feels like they know that these guys are to be the ones that if something did go, but you got a lot of people who are just living their lives. They did their time, but now they're going to be affected and shit, and they're living peaceful lives and shit now. But they're going to be like, the reason I think they're going to be they want to do this shit to disarm the combat veterans, dude, is because they know a lot of those dudes would be like commanders and shit for the revolution kind of shit. Like, and that's why they're trying to go after them guys, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Did you see Ark Wildman's here?
Fear the government that fears your gun.
Who said that?
I don't know who said it, but I'm saying it.
I like that. That's good.
Fear the government that fears your gun.
Yeah, dude, we have one right now.
Yeah, exactly. They are not wanting to take your guns away to take care of you. Okay.
Yeah, well, they don't want us. They want to take all the guns away, and the next thing you know, they're just gonna leave us like to ourselves and shit.
Like Australia.
And this would be like we're just. They used to have all kinds of guns there, huh? Like badass shit, right?
Yeah, they had ARs and all that stuff, and I'm not going to call it an assault rifle because it's not an assault rifle. AR stands for Armalite Rifle.
Do you notice
we made them? It don't stand for assault rifle. Whenever
police use them, they call it carbines, but whenever civilians use them, they call them assault rifles.
Yeah.
But if a police has one, it's called a carbine, even though it's like the same. It'll be the same weapon and shit like that. Each like.
Well, that's the thing. That's another way that they do a play on words, man. It's not AR does not stand for assault rifle.
It says Armalite.
Armalite Rifle. That's who originally was making them, and they originally come out with a civilian. If you go and look at the original history on the AR platform that we have now, they came out with it, and their sales pitch was, we wanted to come up with a rifle that was similar to what the GIs were used to handling, so that they can have a civilian model when they come back, so that they could have a civilian model to go out and sport with. And that's what they said, sport with. It was a sporting rifle.
Wow. And a lot of these first ones were they wooden stocked, some of the first ones, or were they with the matte finish, like the matte black?
I mean, they looked just like what they carried over in Vietnam. It's scary looking. That's what they tell you. It's scary looking. Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you what. Any freaking, if you got a knife and you're holding it with intention to harm me, it's a scary looking knife.
Dude, I'd hate to get stabbed. I'd rather get shot than stabbed, dude. To be honest with you, see what he said. Ark Wildman said, "Trust the government. Just ask the American Indian." Dude, that's a very sad story too.
Yeah, Joe. The civilian market developed it. Yeah, it was Armalite, and Colt had something to do with it. I think when the military wanted to start using it, or something like that. I can't remember all of it. I just know it's an Armalite rifle. It does not stand for assault rifle.
What's up, John T. McGill?
And anything at all that you use to create harm to somebody is an assault weapon. You know, you realize that, right? Because that's what you're doing. You're assaulting someone.
Exactly.
So
Hands.
if I take this pin right here and stab somebody in the neck with it, that's an assault pin. I assaulted them with this pin.
Wow.
I'm with you, John T. Well, that's what he said. He'd rather not get stabbed, shot, or anything.
I'd rather choose none of it. I imagine it's all painful. It's all extreme pain.
Hell, I don't even like it when I get a paper cut, man.
Oh, dude, my shit would be
Like, damn, man.
I have never had dry skin on my hands and feet, dude. That'll hurt me too. Dude, I'm gonna smoke it. I'm gonna have to take it. We're at an hour. I'm gonna take it. Do you want to take a break of any kind, real quick, or do you want us to talk? I'm gonna have to take me 5 seconds to smoke a cigarette. Possibly 3 minutes, actually.
Go smoke.
I'll be back. Thank you. Bye bye.
I'll be back.
I put the link out too.
No, man. But the thing about it is, guys, is that everybody's so afraid of being demonized, man. That's what they do. We are already demonized, man. Dude, when they tell me some crap like that, I just look at them and say, no, you're the terrorist. No, you're the terrorist because you love the Constitution and love your Bible and love your guns. You dang right I do. Well, you're a terrorist. No, you're the terrorist because you don't. That's exactly why we have the Constitution, our Bible, and our guns. It's for terrorists like y'all that want to take it away from us, that want to take our freedoms and our rights away. That's exactly why we have the Constitution and our Second Amendment. That's just ridiculous. All right, Hutch? I'm already a demon. Truth don't hurt me. That's right. That's it. You know, it's, I mean, who cares what they think, man? I don't care what they think. But what I do care about is what my local governor, you know, what my local freaking congressman and House of Representatives, and I care about what they do. And John T, that's exactly right. You know, if you believe in the Constitution, you're a racist. What? Man, there's so much of this stuff that's it's eat up, man, all around. Everything is they're trying to create enough chaos so that they've got a reason to bring the order out of chaos. That's exactly what they're doing. You know, it's they just come from you at all sides. It's coming this way, that way, this way. And they try to confuse you, and you just got to stay calm. You got to stay cool, and you got to know what's worth fighting for and what's not. And it's hard to know sometimes, because I know I get pissed, man, and you know, it's easy to. Ark has an assault cat. Yeah, I've got an assault rooster too, man. I guarantee you, go out there and go in the cage with him. He'll assault the hell out of you, man. You got to. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here too, Hutch, is that we're kind of signed on board with that too, is you know, pretty much whatever all that crap, like the mandates and stuff. Yeah, our governor went in, our legislator went through, wrote up a bill, our governor signed it. No, the federal government don't get to mandate shit here. We told them to piss off. You know, and it's funny because it's funny, Hutch. Yesterday, my wife and I went down to Sam's Wholesale, and we bought, you know, some bulk item stuff, bunch of stuff. And what we did before we went into the Texas Roadhouse and got us, you know, got us a meal. I had a steak and grilled shrimp and all that stuff. Man, we, you know, people's talking about, man, it ain't never going back to normal. I wished it would just be normal. Well, everything was normal to me yesterday, man, because we went down into the big city from us, you know, and went down in there, walked up in the Texas Roadhouse, no mask, no nothing. Walked up in there. They set us down. They had some big screen TVs playing with some different sports on it. Me and my wife sat there and watched sports and talked about the sports going on. There was a football game on. We talked about it, and we talked about some other stuff. Ate dinner, got up, left.
What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time.
So, hey, JH.
I'm sorry about that.
Everything's normal here, man. I was open carrying, you know, and the one thing that I do open carry. I do open carry on the outside of the waistband, you know, open carry. And I always put on an overshirt, but I never button it. You know what I'm saying? Just a button up, short sleeve overshirt, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, just like a flannel or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like a plaid shirt. I feel you. Okay.
Yeah, like a plaid shirt. The one I had on was blue and had a couple of different colors of blue and some gray in it. It was a good looking shirt, man. And I wore this shirt underneath it, and I open carried, you know, so that the shirt would kind of hide it, you know what I'm saying?
But you could get it easily, quickly if you needed to.
Yeah, it's just right there, you know. And I mean, man, nobody said nothing to me. I saw a couple of other people open carrying. People were just laughing and joking, having a good time. There was a few people wearing masks. There was lots of people that weren't, you know. So I mean, it's still pretty normal here, man.
That's how it is in Tennessee too. People will be open carrying here now that they have the law passed. But I can still carry still, man. But I just I notice whenever, because I'll be practicing my my dry firing, you know, my quick drawing and shit. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll notice whenever because I only have a concealed holster. I need to get me an open holster, but like I was just like, it's just, you know, it's just not as quick as if I would have had it on the outside. But what's up? It's Keith.
What's up, Keith? I'm gonna grab a Dr. Pepper, but I'm just right there. You see that black refrigerator?
Oh, dude, that's gonna take you too long to get back, dude.
Oh, right.
But yeah, and here in Tennessee, though, guys, it's pretty much like it is in Arkansas and Missouri, I guess. Like as far as you know, like with the laws, even last year, like it was only weird for like 2 months. Within people started going back to work and shit, you know, and the masks, like the mask law wasn't. And my wife, she's from Peru, right? And she didn't get unemployment because she doesn't have her citizenship all the way yet, right? And she and a lot of people in this Latino community got COVID last year because they had to keep on going out into work. She sold insurance and she'd had to sell, but I think they were targeting people based on their last names or what they're like. If your name is Hector, if your name is Jamal, they're going to say you have COVID. But I don't want to get into that too much and shit. I probably just said so many forbidden things. But
dude, I mean, it's pretty normal here, man. I mean, that's the whole thing is, I don't know, like yesterday, it didn't seem any. Yesterday when we went to town, went to the big city from here, it really, nothing seemed any different from any other time I've been there, even 5 years ago, you know. I mean, it just, man, it was a lot of traffic, man. People were out, dude. We actually even had to We actually even had to wait for a little bit to be seated. There were so many freaking people. You know what I'm saying? There was so many people trying to, eat there at Texas Roadhouse that
Dude, that's how it is at every restaurant that over here where I'm at, man. I told you where I live at in the private chat before.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit, dude. It'll be like that on a Monday, a Tuesday, like, you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, you be trying to go out to eat, dude, you'll be having to wait forever, dude. It sucks, man. But it's still cool to be out there with all the. A lot of people I work with, though, have been getting that Charlie Victor. They've been getting COVID. A lot of people at work have been getting it.
Well, that's the whole thing. You can go and watch a video on that too, man, where some of these leading doctor spokespeople that these did you see that?
My bad. I'm listening to you. My bad.
Did you see that video where them head doctor people for 2 or 3 different of the big hospitals had got together? It was a leaked Zoom meeting, man, and they were saying we need to fudge. Basically they were saying about fudging the numbers, about making it more scary so that people will comply. So they're lying, man. I mean, they sit there and admitted they're freaking lying about it, dude. That's the whole thing is.
I have not seen that yet.
I don't. Yeah. I don't care if 10,000 people get this stuff. How many people is it killing? How many people is it really killing? You know what I'm saying? And if you try to tell me, well, these people had big underlying issues, well, the flu will do the same thing to them. It'll kill them. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't know. You just can't walk around scared, man. You just gotta live your life, dude. I mean, you can get in your car today and drive down the road and get in a head-on collision and die. So,
and that's it.
Stop driving? Do you stop driving? You can't stop living? It's just, being hunkered up, scared, and not ever doing anything. That's, you might as well die, man. That ain't living.
I used to be scared of that so much, man. I really used to be tripping on. I would lose sleep sometimes. For real, I'd be like, "Oh man, dude, I used to be so scared to die, and I have no idea what it was, dude. Like, it was a little, and that was like whenever I was like 22 or some shit. Like, and I just couldn't. I would lose sleep, and I'd be like, "What's gonna happen when I die? But then I realized. Yeah, Hutch makes a very good point. Yeah, if you're 80 and scared to death, you wasted your life. Yeah, you should. If you're 80, you should be like, man, if I die and shit, fuck it, dude. It was a good life, man. I had a, But like, it'd be sad for everybody around you, though. You know what I'm saying? But for you personally, though, it would be like a new chapter in your existence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just can't, man.
Because you live on in the memories of people that knew you. I think that's another afterlife. I think is like good memories that you had with people, and they'll, that's just one of my opinions on that.
The flu is back this year. Amazing. It was at 0 last year. Exactly, J.H.
I had the flu a couple weeks ago. I thought.
They did start kind of adjusting the numbers a little for many things last year, because so many people started questioning that. Is like, wait a minute, we've cured heart disease and heart attacks and all kinds of stuff. So, they had to start readjusting a lot of that. And the whole thing about it is, I mean, flu kills, upwards of 80,000 people every year, every single year.
Dude, I felt ill, man. I did not feel good at all this past couple weeks ago, man. Like, whenever I woke up, because I was having problems with my stomach, man, as well as with my breathing, dude, and I was sweating like crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. But
You know what's so funny? I didn't say nothing to nobody, but it's probably about a week and a half ago, maybe closer to 2 weeks ago. I like went through a couple of days, man, where I felt, man, dude, I had no energy. I felt so bad, dude. And that one morning I woke up, I took a drink of Dr. Pepper and I couldn't taste it.
really, dude, that sounds like that. That sounds like that thing, dude.
I couldn't smell it. I couldn't taste it. And I was like, oh, man. I was like, come on. Man, I went in there and tried to OD myself on pretty much on vitamins and stuff in there, and took extra stuff and made me up some hot chicken noodle soup. And, man, the next day I felt better and everything tasted fine. And so I don't know. I think it tried to get on me, but I was like, go away.
And you use simple home remedies. Plus, you already live a healthy lifestyle already and shit. You eat your vegetables and your fruits. You know what I'm saying? You get some exercise in. You know.
Yeah, I want to say something about that real quick, bro.
Let's hear it.
So the other night I'm on Lake Ferry and them's live stream, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about some food, and I was talking about making a grilled cheese, grilled ham and cheese sandwich. And I told them, I said, sometimes I drag it through the garden. And they all freaked out. They're like, what are you talking about dragging it through the garden? What do you mean? Who says that? You getting it dirty or what? I mean, they're getting crickets on it. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? It's dragging it through the garden, man. You drag your sandwich through the garden. You throw vegetables all over it,
I've been quoting that, dude. That inspired me to start putting like tomatoes and lettuce on my burgers and shit ever since when you said it.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. You can get you a little bit of vegetables on, like if you just normally eat a hamburger, and fries. I mean, you really need them greens and stuff, man. That stuff's important. And
people, they just slack on it so much. They make it hard to get, even though it's not as hard as like I used to think it was to get vegetables and shit and fruits. It is a little bit, I feel like it is a little too expensive for the amount that you can get at the grocery store. But I wish you get a little bit more. But
I even got a powder in there, man. It's all greens. It's all kinds of different greens. And they've been put down to powder, Man, you just throw it in a drink because it don't really have no extra flavor. So you can just throw it in anything you're drinking, man, and get a dose of greens. You know what I'm saying? And I've been doing that for a little while.
What's that called? That sounds badass.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a little while now, and like I said, I kind of got a little down a couple of weeks ago, but just for about that third day or so, I guess I started feeling a lot better and everything was fine, but
that sounds like a good combination thing on Princess.
But I eat at home, man. We eat healthy, that's one thing I don't skimp on.
And you influence your kids to eat healthy and shit too. You influence your kids to be eating their vegetables. It's a little hard to get them to eat it though. It was hard for me to want to eat that shit.
Not my daughter.
Okay.
My daughter eats healthy. But she's an athlete, man. She plays on the senior high volleyball team, man, and she's only a sophomore, but she's so good, man. I mean, she plays on the senior high, and she eats very well
because he lives a healthy lifestyle. Okay.
Yeah, and my son, he's a hot dog, pizza, hot pocket kind of kid right now. You know what I'm saying? Mac and cheese.
That's how I was up until I was probably about 25.
Dr. Pepper green
video
smoothie
got coming out. Dr. Pepper green smoothie. What is that? Is that what is that?
Klingon just said backwoods recipe, Dr. Pepper green smoothie. Talking about putting
that pit inside of your Dr. Pepper.
Powder, yeah.
Wow. Dude, yeah, I'm gonna I didn't know that I didn't even because I have I've been drinking this muscle milk powder, try to put on some weight and shit, dude. I didn't even know that they would have
Peanut butter, dude.
peanut butter. I remember when I was playing football, they'd give us peanut butter and jelly sandwiches all the time and shit. They'd give us like 4 or 5.
Peanut butter sticks to you. It it'll help you gain some weight.
Okay. Give me a whole jar. I have in my preps that I had over there. I have like a bunch of them gigantic jars of peanut butter, dude. I might just grab one and just walk around, and when I'm off of work one of these days doing a live stream or anything like that, I'm just gonna be eating from this jar of peanut butter from now on. Get some results from it.
Don't just eat the peanut butter and sit behind the screen. You gotta.
You gotta be like actually like walking around, working out and shit.
Yeah, working out and shit. Yeah, but it'll help you.
I got a 45 and a 25. I'm trying to find my phone so I can show you guys this picture. I think Hutch said butter beans. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. This is from where I used to work at. Let me see if I can. You guys are gonna love this, dude. I got a chance to meet Let me see if you guys can see it. Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah, Butterbean.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. You know who that is next to him?
You should have punched him in the head.
No, if I had punched him in the head, he would have fucking probably killed my ass with one hit, dude. Dude. This man, you want to talk about a big person, dude. This man's hand, one of his hands was as big as both of my hands. And whenever I went there to shake it, my hands aren't that small, dude. You know what I'm saying? But I went there to shake this dude's hand, and this man almost broke. I could feel if he wanted to, he could have just broke my hand, just like nothing, dude. But he was short though. He was like 5'3". But his head was. He reminded me of one of those little rhino vehicles and shit. You know what I'm saying, dude? But he was big though. But he was old, walking around on a crane. But he's only 47. Actually, is what he told me.
Hutch said he loves lima beans and black-eyed peas. I'm out on the lima bean thing, but I freaking love black-eyed peas, man. I eat black-eyed peas probably 3-4 times a week. I love black-eyed peas, man.
The older that I've gotten, the more I've been open to eating things like that, to trying different, because you get proteins from all these beans, right?
Oh yeah.
See, I like red beans and rice, country fried steak. That's one of my favorite meals of all time. Though that's a little bit off topic. But I don't know if I could get down on eating some butter beans though. I could get down with the black-eyed peas and the lima beans, but.
So what's the deal about the title of your show there?
What to do when people are hating on you?
What to do when someone gives you bad vibes?
Because that's how it started, man. Because it's like, I feel. Honestly, I forgot all about. I don't want to sound like a square, but I forgot all about why like that. Like nobody has personally been. Yeah, there's been no personal bad vibes to me, but I feel like maybe sometimes let's say, like I be getting some road rage. You know what I'm saying? It's like you've been seeing people, they'll be looking at you and shit like, and I'll be like, dude, what are you looking at? I'll be saying worse things than that, but I don't. It's too early for me to be like quoting what I say.
Well, yeah, you just, I don't, man.
I feel like the looks that I get from people in public will sometimes make me feel like I'm getting judged by these people. And I'll be like, some of these people, they'll look, they'll be like, they'll look at me like this sometimes. You know how people look at anybody? They might not even be looking at me. I might be tripping. I might just be thinking that, but this might not even be going, but they'll be like, and I'll look at them. I'll look at them. I don't care. They'll be like 90-something years old and I'll look like, most of the time it's really good encounters with these people, but I'll look at them like, right back at them, dude.
Right. Well,
how should I act in these situations?
Well, the situational awareness, what Hutch mentioned, I actually done a safety meeting on that topic in front of, man, I don't know, there's probably 1,500, 2,000 people there. And I spoke on it, and I did a whole big old meeting on the situational awareness. And there's ways that you can do this stuff without. So I go about like yesterday. All right. I can guarantee you I could pick out everything that went on. You know what I'm saying? I know what all was going on, but I was able to still, watch the football game, talk to my wife. We had a good time. It's one of them. It's almost like being cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just a cool dude right there. You know what I'm saying? Because
It's just natural.
You just do this natural thing, and so you look, you just kind of, I use my eyes a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily turn my head and look at someone, but now if I see someone that I really think is shady, like, I really get that bad.
Yeah, I know.
I make sure that I make eye contact with them, like just look and just, you know what I'm saying? And don't have that look on your face like, oh my gosh, that guy's shady. I'm more of a, yeah, I see you.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Like I'm like,
I see you.
Okay.
And I can be shady too, if you want to bring your shady way, and you kind of give them that look. But other than that, man, you just go about, because people, man,
it's not good to look too much, you think, huh?
Yeah, you can't. You don't want to seem paranoid, man, because then you start to draw attention, and you don't want to draw attention to yourself, so you just act normal and just pay attention to what's going on around you at all times. Like when we went in the restaurant yesterday, the lady said, y'all want to sit in the bar area, y'all want to sit in this, and I'm looking, and I'm like, where's your exit doors at? And she goes, well, we got one back there. I said, I want to sit back there, because the exit doors, you can't come into it. You can only go out. You see what I'm saying? Because they have the fire alarm turned on them. So they're made in a restaurant. So they're made to, when you go out that door, if it's an exit, it will say like exit, but then it'll, another one will say, like fire door or whatever. If you start to pay attention to this. So I had them set me back there, like when you go into a restaurant, try to set furthest away from the entrance as you can. And always
get to that exit.
always remember, because there's fire exits in restaurants, and always remember there is always an exit out of the kitchen.
Yeah, there is that back door.
Yep. So, that's the situational awareness, is paying attention to, oh my gosh, Hutch.
That reminds me of Eddie Murphy's joke when he went to San Francisco and they said, wee-hoo, wee-hoo, wee-hoo.
Yeah.
Get to that.
So, no, but the thing about it is, what I noticed was there was walls, okay, in dividing sections. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there were walls about probably about chest high to me, and you pay attention to them type of walls, because that's cover. You know what I'm saying? And where the exits are and things like that. And that's just kind of some of the stuff that I do. I always try to, even if I have to wait an extra 10 minutes to be able to sit in the back, you know what I'm saying? To so that I can enjoy my dinner and I can pay attention to the whole restaurant, in front of me. Keep the restaurant in front of me.
Anybody who's going to be coming in there with any negative shit's going to be coming through that front, right?
They're going to come through that front door.
Okay. And most of the time, people are already sitting like, because you wouldn't think there'd be too many. You see people already sitting down with their family or their group and stuff. Like they're not. You wouldn't see too much. I wouldn't think too much of a threat from them. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, you'd still keep a the awareness. But like you said, and you went out to eat, there are other people open carrying and shit. So you guys, anybody who would have came in that restaurant looking for trouble would have been Swiss cheese, dude.
You can't guarantee that, man.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that too. Yeah.
Just because somebody carries a weapon on their side does not mean that when bullets start flying that they're going to be helping you.
Because once they're hit, then they're down.
Well, it's not necessarily hit, but it's in my past life of the drug dealing that I did, I've been in where gunshots are happening, and it's a surreal moment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, things are happening quick, and that fight or flight mode. A lot of times when people start hearing gunshots and people screaming, their natural reaction is to flight, to go away, from that situation.
Yeah.
So just because someone's wearing a gun on their side, that does not mean that they're going to, because I know here in that same big city, exactly, not everyone can pull the trigger. The same big city we went to yesterday, it's been 3 or 4 years ago. This dude walks up in there and shoots this lady, shoots her like 4 or 5 times at the Walmart, right there at the city we were at yesterday. Walks in there and just starts shooting her. Her husband was standing there. There were 4 people in that store open carrying, and nobody did nothing. She damn near died, dude.
It's crazy.
And not even her husband, dude. The witnesses said the husband hit the deck, man, and just laid there.
Wow.
So you can't guarantee nobody is going to help you. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people,
for yourself.
A lot of people, they'll be talking about, man, I'll be kicking someone's ass. I'll be whipping out my weapon, and then boom, they're going to be dead, and I'm going to be the hero of the day, and I'm going to be like off of a. But yeah, man, that dude. You speak truth, man. You put it into logic, though, and because you hear about stuff like that all the time, man. This is something that I think about probably every 6 months. You remember that Colorado theater thing that went down and shit?
Yep.
Well, that guy. There was a guy there with his wife and his baby, and when that guy, the bad guy, came in, started shooting this guy with his wife and the baby. He just ran. He left his baby, left his wife behind, just ran out of the theater, ran straight into his car, drove in his car, and got into a car accident and shit. Because he was like, he just was in his flight mode. He was in extreme flight mode. Got in the car and drove straight into a wall.
There's a guy here in this county that was on volunteer fire department, and he got kicked off because of what he did. One night, this tornado come through, and so we went to the tornado shelter, right? We got our school over here has a big tornado shelter. So I grabbed my little go bag I got there by the door, and I had, I've got some cases of water stacked up there, and I grabbed a case of water and I threw it in the back of the car, and I said, come on, I got my family. We went over there because it's just like 5 minutes from my house right here. I can walk there in 5 minutes. And we drove around there, got out. I brought the case of water inside, and set it in the middle of the floor and opened it up and said, man, whoever needs some water, go for it. And brought my little go bag in. It had snacks and stuff in it. And so this dude comes flying up, man. And I'm thinking, what in the hell, man? He's got sparks coming off his vehicle and stuff, and a fender hanging off. This was a volunteer firefighter, first responder guy. He freaked out because of the tornado with his family. Had like 3 kids in there, dude, and his wife. Ran into the ditch because he was so scared of this tornado, dude, that he wrecked in the ditch, barely got out of the ditch, and drove the rest of the way on a flat tire, which the tire ended up disintegrating, and he was on the rim and come squalling up there, man. And there was a cop there, and I was standing there, and I started coming up to the dude, and the cop got in his ass, man. Was like, "Are you freaking nuts, dude? You know, there's people trying to come in here, and you come squealing up here like that, man. The tornado's not here yet." You know, and
Wow.
dude, god dang, man, he ended up getting kicked off the volunteer
He's supposed to have composure, though. What if he's in a serious like building burning down and shit? Like,
yeah, he freaked out, man. And it was really funny because I was watching the tornado stuff on the weather deal. You know what I'm saying? I was watching it and paying attention, and I was texting with a friend of mine that was not in this state, and that was watching it for me, you know, watching the weather deal.
mm-hmm.
And so I was texting back and forth with him and checking it out, and they was like, "All right, it's past your area, you know, you're good." So I went to leave. Well, this same dude, now this is before, you know, this was just that night, you know, he hadn't, it was before he got, you know, it was 3 or 4 days later, he got kicked off the fire department. But anyway, he's sitting by the door, right? And I told my wife and kids, I said, "Come on, let's go to the house. It's over, you know." We start to walk out the door, and the dude looked at me and said, "Where are you going?" And I looked at him and I said, "It's none of your fucking business, you little."
It wasn't
just kind of looked at me, you know, and my son said, my son kind of goes, "Dad, that guy's a joke, ain't he?" And I said, "Yes, he is." Stupid motherfucker, man.
Wow,
But
dude.
that's why I say, man, when you really start looking at that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand, if you're going to carry a weapon, that you may be alone in a situation. You know what I'm saying? Just because there's 3 or 4 other people carrying one doesn't mean they're going to help you. You know.
Wow, yeah, they could. Wow, dude, that it just blew my mind. All that shit.
You just got to be real about it, man.
Yeah, that's why we need to train more, dude. Like, that's why, you know, it's just you know, I know, you know, people you're training, but you know what I mean. Like, in general, you know, everybody needs to do something, like practice, like, you know how to sharpen a knife or something, you know, like do something.
One of the things you need to think about too, brother, and these are things that you need to think about if you carry a weapon. Let's say you have your child with you, and somebody over here starts shooting at someone else. It would not be wise for you to get involved when you've got your child with you.
Exactly. I had that thought, dude. Yeah, you'd rather just take your family and like try to go at the exit instead of trying to get into a gunfight.
Right. Now, if that person is randomly shooting people and coming your way, then yes, you want to duck your kid up under, you know, stuff your kid
Put them underneath the seat.
Well, I'm saying if you're in a store, for instance.
Oh shit. Okay.
You know, stuff your kid up under that shelf and tell him don't move. You know what I'm saying? Stuff your kid up under that clothes rack right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, if they're coming that way, you know, you obviously want to put down the threat. If they're just randomly shooting people, you know, you want to put down the threat. But for someone doing something, if you've got your family standing there, you damn sure don't want to draw attention to you by firing at them, because now your family's right there. You know what I'm saying? There's things like that you have to think about and go through these situations, you know, this situational awareness, you know, and there's a lot of good videos online, man, where you can look at stuff like that, and it brings a lot of these situations up, you know, and what do you do kind of thing, you know.
I like active self-protection. Oh, as you said, my bad.
No, go ahead, man.
You watch active self-protection?
I don't know if
he breaks down the shooting videos. He's a shooting instructor. But he breaks down self-defense stuff. There's another show. It's called I think it's called it's a show where they give them blue pistols, like they give them like fake guns, but they still shoot like pellets, and they like give you a situation like you and your wife are out in the woods and you guys are camping and you see somebody who's hiking through, and he just starts saying hey hey hey, and just like a situation, or if you're at a restaurant, like I wish I knew what the show's name was. Damn it, I'll tell you when I remember it. But it was I think you'd like it if you haven't already seen it.
Yeah, we've got a deal that we're looking into. We're fixing to start going and hitting that place. It's a little bit expensive, man. So I'm not going to be able to just go all the time or anything, but it's a course you can go to, and it's basically a big video game.
Really?
You actually bring your own firearm, and they've got a deal that they can put in it that you can sit there and keep squeezing the trigger, and it shoots out a laser. And so it's like a big video game. It's got all these different screens, in these different rooms and stuff like that, and it's you go in there and learn how to react, and learn how to, when to shoot, when not to, things like that.
And there's a screen in front of you, right, that shows the okay. Dude, that sounds badass, dude.
Yeah, it is. We're all fixing to go through that training, and I'm gonna go to it 2 or 3 times actually. Scheduling up. I think it'll be helpful for the mind part of it, of think quick, of the thinking aspect of it. But you still there's just no.
Even the most highly trained person could be taken down by somebody with no training at all, given the right situation, right? Like giving the timing, given the situation, though,
when that projectile leaves the end of that barrel, whichever way it's going is where it's going to hit. I mean, that's just, what I'm saying. So it's, if you're in that line, when it comes out of there, then you get hit.
They don't, and it doesn't take into account like who you are as a person. It doesn't take into account what you've done, what you can do. It doesn't. It's just there. It's impartial. It's a tool, and I don't think I would make a very good human shield.
You see, that's just wrong, Hutch.
Yeah, I think I'd probably be able to. I'm like a level 1 human shield, light armor human shield. You know what I'm saying? Instead of a level 3A ballistic human shield.
Right.
You guys, do you ever practice with any armor on, man? Do you ever train with weights, like on your armor on your? See, I was doing push-ups with my shit on. I feel like it was definitely. I think it's more beneficial to have that, and it helps you use it too, and you're walking around with it.
Yeah, we train with our armor on.
That's what's I'll be walking around my house with my shit on sometimes, dude.
I've cut my grass with it on.
That's what's dude. That's good, dude. That's a good sweat. That's a good sweat right there, man.
My neighbors are all looking at me funny and stuff.
Dude, tripping.
That's why I'm really opposed to red flag laws.
Yeah, because the neighbors could be like, "Oh yeah, dude, he's mowing his lawn. He's got his armor on him and shit." Like,
mowing his grass. Something wrong with that dude.
Haters, dude. There's a lot of people out there, man, who would just, and that's what I mean by bad vibe energy. People that would just give you shit for no reason at all, just like, what are you doing? Try to get in your business, and you never even met this person in your life.
Man, I guarantee you that armor, that plate carrier gets heavy and uncomfortable after 5, 6, 7 hours,
Oh, dude, I bet, dude. Oh, definitely. Mine, it's about 16 pounds, I think, is how much mine weighs. I could see where it's 16 pounds for 8 hours, dude. That's going to be.
Is that what it is, Klingon? I mean, I just had my body armor on. That's what they were freaking out on.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. They were like, there's a butt naked man here with nothing but body armor on.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense now.
Heard that, Laura.
Man, I was going to go and work on my deer hunting spot today some more, take my mower and stuff up there. God dang, man, it's like 90 degrees here, man.
Really, dude, it's hot here today, but it's been in the 50s the past week here because we had a cold front come through after that storm. What's up, Stuart?
I was looking at the radar and stuff, and or the weather report.
That's good for him, Hutch. Hutch's boy has been running with his plate carrier on. They got him plates coming for him. But what did you say? You've been looking at this weather?
Yeah, I was looking at the weather, and we're supposed to have a front move in this evening, and the next 3 or 4 days there's a little chance of rain, but it's supposed to cool down a lot. So
make sure you got a jacket ready.
I think I'm gonna wait for a day or two before I go up there and start mowing on the.
That's cool that you got a deer spot. When's deer season up there? It said it's all year round, or is it only
weekend after next? Actually,
will it be in all of October?
Just for a week.
Oh, dude, I was about to say because we have this thing going on at the Hutch's party up there. Hutch's, it's going to be the greatest live stream and the greatest party of all time, dude. You have to come.
Yeah, I got the.
I'm driving 11 hours.
Yeah, I got the video, and I was trying to look at the date and everything, and when I'm going to be hunting because
we could go hunting with you.
My deer woods is actually on the Missouri border. Like our fence, our north fence. When you cross over that fence, you're in Missouri. So I'm looking at the date and trying to figure out, how far it is and everything from where I'm gonna be, and because where we're gonna be is kind of like Hutch is here, and where we're gonna be is kind of way over here. So I'm gonna have to figure out that route, to where I don't have to drive all the way back around.
I heard that. Shit, dude, I'd pick you up on the way or something if we could figure out something. Do we do a carpool if I pass through your area on the way there?
Because I want to be there actually.
Dude, it's looking like it's gonna be a badass time, dude.
Yeah,
I bring some of this Tennessee moonshine from the hills.
I'm gonna say Hutch is gonna wake up that next morning and look out in his yard, and there's gonna be people strolled all about and laid out and shit.
One of his eyebrows is gonna be shaved off.
Oh,
he's gonna. No, I was just joking.
I'm gonna say this right now, Hutch. I have nothing to do with anything that anyone does to you when you pass out. I'm not involved. I'm not going there.
He made a point. It would be a good opportunity for us to bug out in his field and shit, though, to sleep out there in his field, dude. But I'm gonna bring a hammock with me and find 2 trees and just make sure I wrap up with some blankets and shit, dude. Because I'm gonna leave my family and shit here. You know what I'm saying?
You know what you do to someone when they pass out, right?
What do they do?
You take and wrap rope all the way around them, close the hammock up, and wrap rope all the way around them where they can't get out.
Damn it, I'm gonna have to get me a tent then instead. I could probably just stay in my Jeep, in my car. That says he don't pass out. His OG. Shit. That's why I'm not gonna be doing too much drinking. I might do a little bit of drinking and stuff. I'm not gonna go into detail about it's gonna be a badass time we're gonna be having. But I guess I'll bring a little bit of some of this Tennessee White Lightning, baby. It'd be good. We get a little sipping.
Dang, man.
Do you wanna? You want to close this one off, Bubba? You got anything? Because I might have to leave here in about 10 minutes. I'm thinking.
I mean, yeah, if you got to leave, then you got to leave. That ain't no big deal. I don't really feel like going out in the woods at 9 and no breeze and out there working in the ticks and chiggers, and I don't really.
Dude, I used to get that shit all. Dude, here we have ticks here in Tennessee, dude, but. Like the chigger shit, dude, that's some shit that you get whenever you're like down south, like in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and shit.
Yeah,
like that's what will eat your legs up. For those of y'all who don't know what that is, they'll give you like a bunch of like it looks like a bunch of scab zits on your legs from getting scratched so much and shit.
Yeah, the chiggers they eat you up down here, man.
Yeah, in Louisiana they was bad too, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be on tomorrow. I'm gonna be on Prepperty, dudes. Hopefully it'll be better than the first time I was on Prepperty. I kept on like the questions. I kept on saying, yeah, Prepperty would be cool. Dude, you should hop on Prepperty too.
I don't care nothing about that stuff, man. I like watching it, but
I feel you on that shit.
I don't know. I'm just. Call me a grouchy old fucker, I guess. I'm just kind of one of them. I'm like, I don't care about going on and answering a bunch of damn questions. And see, I'm probably going to be not answering any questions correctly, dude. Yeah, see, it's supposed
to. That's what has me scared of it.
Like, it's only supposed to be 75 come Thursday. So it's going to be cooling down.
What else is it that I was gonna say? I'm gonna be starting this backwards, and everybody in the chat, you guys, I'm gonna be doing reruns for like in between the live streams, if there's somebody else doing a live stream, I'll just cut the stream off and shit of the reruns, then I'll put it back on. Just if you want to sleep to it, if you want to chat, if you want to relive some of the funniest moments and shit from Late Night Hideout and from Pilgrim Radio and shit. But I'm gonna be I'm thinking I don't know if I should do that at nighttime or if I should just do it throughout all the day. That's what has me, but I'm thinking, I don't know, we'll see what's good. But the weather, though, man, you should get up out there and go mow that lawn, Bubba. Go up there and fix that spot over there in your deer camp, Bubba.
I got plenty of time, man. See, one of the cool things that some people, most deer hunters know this. One of the cool things is if I go up there and I start working that piece of property, you know what I'm saying? Out there in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
When I leave, the deer will come in and inspect what was going on.
See, I didn't know that. Okay,
yeah,
now okay.
They'll come in there and inspect me and a buddy of mine, we used to cut wood all the time, and sell it. And man, every time we'd be leaving and you could see deer coming in there, or we'd go drop a load off and come back and there'd be deer in there and shit, So yeah, they'll come in after you're done, So when I go in there and mow and do all that stuff, and I'm fiddling around in there getting the feeder going and the deer cameras, I got 2 of them here, these little cameras. And once I get that done, they'll come in there and try to, want to see, kind of figure out what's going on. Then they'll discover the corn. You see what I'm saying? I do this every year, so hell, one year I was working so damn much, man. I just didn't have time to go up there. We were working 7 days a week, and I finally got where I could be off for a few days. And then I had my vacation for deer season, and it was like 3 days before deer season started, man. And I went up there and started the feeder and put out a bunch of corn. Killed a deer on opening morning. So
that's what's good.
It had only been there for like 3 days, so yeah, ain't no big deal. You just be patient,
dude. Yeah, if I pass through there, man, we'll have to holler at each other at some point if I pass through on the way there or the way back home. That'd be cool as hell, dude. I'll buy some of that deer meat from you if you got any by that point.
No, I don't sell deer meat, man. I'll give it away though.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. Dude, that'd be badass, dude. I'd definitely make a stop today to get me some of that shit, though, for sure. Because I'll be passing through there. I'm gonna be making this trip come hell or high water. Because I drove 15 hours to Massachusetts. I think I could do the 11 hours to Missouri.
Well, I mean, if I've got where I'm making money and stuff off of other things, you know, like mowing properties or doing leaves and stuff like that, things like the vegetables and you know, if somebody needs a little deer meat or something, I'm not going to sell it to them, you know. If I'm not getting to work, you know, and I'm trying to make money, you know, then yeah,
Get some cash off that deer meat.
yeah,
Or that.
I'm trying to make some money, you know. But yeah, as long as I'm good like I am now, I ain't selling stuff like that, man. You know, I've got some neighbors over here that they've got quite a few kids, and they work all the time, man. They're struggling a little bit though, and I give them a big old hind quarter.
That's what's up.
You know, that's you got to take care of each other, man.
That's your community right there, man.
Yeah, got to take care of folks.
Dude, yeah. See, and that's what I think. That's what makes this our prepping community, YouTube community, so awesome, dude. Is that, you know, we do take care of each other. You know, there's not no hate. I'm not gonna get into it deeply because it's not about me. But did you see that secret stuff? I didn't mean to say his name, but did you see that new video he put out? Well, he was hating. He was a little bit hating on a couple people for talking about aliens, and I'm like, dude. This is the United States of America, baby. Who cares about if they're talking about aliens, dude? Like,
Well, see,
they wasn't putting the alien talk with the prepping, though. They wasn't talking about prepping and aliens together, though, is the thing. But he was talking shit about a very well-loved member of this community.
Well, here's the thing, bro. There was a thing. There was all right. So. There was this radio station here in Little Rock. It's still there. It's just these particular guys are not on anymore. I think one of them still is, but somebody called in and was complaining about, you know, them kind of being a little dirty, and you know what I'm saying. And
oh shit.
And they was like, yeah, I was on a morning show, and they was like, I've got my kids in the car, and that person said something that made so much sense. That radio guy, he said, ma'am, there's like 15 other channels you can turn to while you got your children in the car. If you don't like what we're saying, you know, we warn everybody, you know, we're controversial, we're out there, you know. So if you don't like what we're saying, change the channel.
Sure, but they'd rather be hating on somebody else's artwork instead. They'd rather.
That's kind of the way I feel about that deal. You know, why complain about somebody talking about aliens? Somebody was talking about aliens. You know, if you don't believe in aliens, or you don't like to talk about aliens, then don't watch the damn show. Turn the damn channel. There's millions of people on YouTube you can watch. You know.
Yeah, just probably trying to get some kind of like relevance from being a hater or some shit from trolling. Probably trying to get some troll relevance or some shit.
Hey, Native.
What's up, Roman?
Native's here too.
What's up, Native? Hey, we could probably keep it going for a little bit while longer if anybody else wanted to hop on here in a minute. I'm gonna have to go smoke me one more cigarette real quick. We're at the 2-hour mark. Do you want to keep going backwards? But if not, it's no big deal.
The only thing I'm doing today, and I can do that anytime today, is I'm gonna go up and get the stuff for the deer hunting spot, you know. But that'll take me, you know, I can do that anytime today. I'm not. If you wanna hang out, I'll hang out. That's up to you, brother. You started the live stream.
Because I ain't done a live in about 5 or 6 days or something.
Well, but that's the whole thing, man, is that, you know, if somebody wants to talk about aliens, man, let them talk about it. If somebody wants to talk about God, let them talk about it. If somebody don't want to watch it, they can change the damn channel, man. it's gotten to the point to where, you know, people, you try to be nice. And I was on a live stream one night here not too long ago, and somebody tried to come in, but they wouldn't turn their camera on. And the person was like, well, I'm really sorry. I just can't bring you up. I was like, don't be sorry. Tell them, you know. I was like, here, I'll speak to them, because I know, you know, when somebody's backstage, they can hear us, you know. And I was like, dude, if you ain't going to turn your camera on, bye, you're out, you know. All you got to do is turn your camera on for a second so the host can see who you are, and then you can turn your camera back off. But if you ain't going to turn it on, bye.
Yeah, because they could turn the camera back on after this shit and be showing like porno or something like that on the screen.
That's what I'm saying. If we can't see who you are, then you're not coming up. That's the way it is.
Yeah, it's yeah, I've had there's funny. I had a funny encounter with somebody the other day, dude. Whenever Hud said he dated an alien, then ICE took her away.
Then ICE took her away?
Yeah. I thought they were called, what is that? They're called ICE? I thought they were called ICE.
No, it's ICE. Yeah. It's how it's spelled. ICE.
I'll be joking with my wife and shit sometimes like that, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, you know, I can call these people on you.
Come on, man.
But no, it's all jokes. I don't say that shit no more. No, she's a legal American. She's illegal. She's illegal. She's an American citizen and shit. You know what I'm saying? But she's still like on the last legs of her paperwork and shit.
Well, the whole thing, man, about them demonizing us and things like that, and trying to demonize the military guys, and
that was like exactly. That's where the bad vibes come from.
Dude,
the title of the episode.
They already demonize us. They already call us all these homophobes and xenophobes and racist. And I don't care, you know, because words are cheap, man. Call me whatever you want. I really don't care, you know.
Exactly. Like, I don't believe it's okay to be racist, but I don't believe that should be against the law to be one, though. I don't believe it's anybody's business what goes on in someone's head or what somebody says in the privacy of by themselves and shit. I
will tell you something though. That you brought that up, dude. That is so the other day, because I'm gonna tell you, I'll admit I've admitted it before. I'll admit it right here on the screen. I can't hardly spell my own name, dude. I am horrible at spelling. Okay. So I was wanting to type something in chat the other day, and I went to looking it up, right? And I'm so bad at spelling on some words, man, that even my smartphone has trouble finding it.
Heard that.
Well, so it found kind of part of the word that I was looking for, and I started to type that part, and I'm sitting there like, no, that's not what I'm looking for, and I was saying the word in my head, and all of a sudden my screen changed, and it popped that word up for the first choice that I was thinking in my head.
Dude, no, that'd be doing that to me a lot too. I'll be thinking about, I'll be like, let me look this up, and then before I even start to type in the letters, that thing will pop up. What's up, Hoot Owl? Before I even start typing in any letters, what I was thinking about will hop up, will just be on the search bar. Dude, I know what you mean. No, it's because they a lot of the stuff that we like, you know, is probably similar to each other. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff you like is probably not too different from other things you like. Roman Prepper, my brother.
Hey, Roman, what's up, buddy?
Busy week. How y'all doing?
Good.
Well, what have we broken today?
You want to tell him?
We tried to break the internet, but I started getting upset about, you know.
He was going insane, yeah.
Red flag.
Because they're trying to say the military is they're pushing for the narrative that the military is connected to white supremacy and the Oath Keepers are connected to domestic terrorism and shit. And I'll be right back, guys.
I saw that article.
Did you
Good grief.
see where the House, Roman? Did you see where the House passed the bill for military vets for red flag law, like all
I did,
across the nation?
did that apply to veterans past their IRR?
I don't know. I have not read that deep into it. The part that I saw was enough for me. Red flag laws for military vets. That was enough for me right there. And I went in and dug and found all my state representatives, got them wrote down right here, and then I will be contacting them and doing everything that I can, and I'm gonna look at their itinerary too and find out where they're going to be
That's ridiculous.
And call them out.
Yeah, like what's the criteria for a red flag? Because
well, the red flag laws. I mean, you know about them, right?
oh yeah, no, I'm wondering what I'm asking that kind of sarcastically, like who
Right.
set the criteria? You know, somebody doesn't like his neighbors, so I'm gonna say, oh well, I know he owns a gun, so I'm gonna call the cops and say he's threatened me and red flag him.
Right. Well, that's why red flag laws are such BS, man. I mean, you know, that's what I was explaining to Pilgrim earlier, because he was like, well, what do you mean by red flag law? And it's like, well, I mean, if you're dating a girl, for instance, and y'all go out and y'all shoot, you know, and target practice, and you go do things like that, and then later on down the line, y'all get into it real bad, and she wants to be one of them kind of people. She just picks up the phone, drops a dime on you, bam, all of a sudden you got SWAT showing up to your freaking house, taking your weapons away from you.
You know what scares me? Flip it over. Let's say a woman escapes an abusive relationship, and I mean it could be anybody. So, and I know ladies personally that had this situation. They were abused, and when they broke away, they went and got their license and bought them a firearm because the other person was stalking. So the stalker can call and say, oh, she did whatever. And by the law will come and take her firearm for 48 hours. And now that guy knows, oh, my ex-wife doesn't have a gun for the next 2 days. You know what I mean? That's
a good point. That's a very good point.
That would be terrible. And then who's responsible for that? I mean, it's not like you can sue Congress for making stupid laws that get someone killed.
Yeah, that's man, you know, the what I got so heated about a little bit ago was, you know, my daddy is a Vietnam vet, you know, and my dad's a good guy. He don't break the law. He don't do things wrong. He's up there, got his property, he pays taxes, you know, they've always been law abiding, you know, and all it would take was someone that gets mad at my dad, you know, because of this stupid law they're trying to pass to go around and call. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they try to show up to take my dad's guns away, I'm gonna be standing there with him, and they're gonna have to take mine away also.
Well, seeing it forces conflict, and it's not necessary. There's a thing called due process. It's the Fourth Amendment, if I'm thinking correctly. You can't deny me my freedom or my property if I've bought it legally, duly owned, without me getting my day in court.
I heard that they're trying to go against the Fourth, though, as well. They're trying to, if they believe that, like you said, if someone were to call and say such and such, I believe they're a threat, they can just use that threat as a reason to go inside, take what you got. And then Backwoods made the point, they'll make you go and pay and do all kinds of stuff to prove that you can get them back.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that'll fail in a court challenge, but you got to go through 3 weeks or 3 months of it. Oh, there you go.
See that?
Is that when y'all deep dive the Constitution?
Yeah, me and Native and Dangerous. Yeah, I mean, I keep all this paperwork near me, you know, and you got a right to be secure in your persons, your houses, your papers, and effects. And there's nothing about being secure when a bunch of armed men show up to your house to take away something that you did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
they're
that's
just off of hearsay, huh?
yeah, it's off of hearsay, and that's breaking your Fourth Amendment right there by showing up to take away your persons, your effects.
Well, you're also going to have law enforcement at the local level may not enforce it if they don't have justifiable reason. I just find it disturbing that they're creating this narrative that the veterans are white supremacists or they're Nazis, and so now they've almost like they're trying to corner all the military vets and former law enforcement ahead of time for something. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
No, I don't think you are.
I agree with you.
Too much into it. I think you're exactly right.
I heard from someone who has a good ear for this when the book caps that he said that they accuse the Border Patrol of being racist and white supremacist, and a Border Patrol director replied to the other agency, 56% of my agents are Latino. So how the hell can they be racist and Nazis? How many Mexican Nazis do you know? And they got in an argument at this hearing. and literally they're fighting each other. It's just, I don't know what the heck they're trying to do, guys.
Well, that's, they did the same thing to Larry Elder. The man he's a black man. He's a black man, and they tried to call him a white supremacist. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with all people? I mean, dude, when somebody says that out of their mouth, they should have been just like ostracized, like who are you stupid?
That's not something you say. Yeah, that's
white supremacist.
Mm-mm.
They called Ben Shapiro a Nazi.
Yeah, he's a Jewish person.
A Jewish guy.
Yeah. It's like Daryl Davis is another guy.
Do you remember the Mel Brooks movies?
Oh, yeah,
he'd insult everybody, right? And he loved to pick on Nazis. Mel Brooks is a Jewish guy.
He's a World War II veteran too.
Mm-hmm. But his, it seems like that. Like they're calling the wrong people the wrong things.
Mm-hmm. They would handle it in a sarcastic, funny way. Like they would look at it in a way like, let's make fun of them instead of that's the best way to do it, instead of being like, oh, I'm afraid of the idea of them.
But there was a time we laughed at this when people would say things. People would laugh at it.
They would never be able to make Blazing Saddles today. They would never be able to make.
Oh, God, no.
You know what I'm saying? Young, like a Spaceballs. Some of the stuff in Spaceballs they couldn't even make it.
Oh no, it's absolutely tongue in cheek. Well, even the original Star Wars when it came out, if you see the original one.
Oh, whenever Han is shooting first and all that.
He totally shot that dude under the table. But it was also a lot of sarcasm, a lot of cheeky humor, and that went away.
Why do you think that is? They want everybody to be more, because it's sensitive. They want everybody more sensitized. Like
I don't know.
That's to touch back on the red flag thing. You guys know who Duncan Limp is?
No.
Well, he died. He was in Maryland. He was a victim of the red flag laws. That was from something he had posted. He was 25 years old, I believe, and he had posted some stuff on his MySpace account whenever he was like 14 years old. And he was in Maryland, and they have really strict pew laws in Maryland.
Right.
And then he had bought himself an AR. Well, then 3 days later, ATF came and raided him, killed him in his sleep. They just shot into his house. But guess who else died the same day? Breonna Taylor. And then that's what the news was. Mm-hmm. But they both were raided, no knock warrants, both on the same day. But Duncan Limp is associated. He was associated with 3 percenters and Oath Keepers and
quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? Like because stuff he put on MySpace and stuff talking about it was something he put on MySpace saying Obama was a piece of shit or something like that back whenever he was in high school, you know.
Yeah.
And then that caused him to lose his life because he bought a weapon. And this was about 2 years ago, I think, a year ago.
That's just, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. The red flag laws, dude. They can look back they'll flag your social media accounts for posts that you make as well.
Oh, it's just, it blows my mind. It's almost like what do you call illegal thing? What was it? Groupthink? I forgot the phrase from Orwell's book. I just blanked out. Not double speak. Well, in a way, it's kind of double.
That's like the LOL and stuff, huh? Like I feel like that's what like the text language is now.
Well, you know what? That's a good point. That's like in 1984, they made the language become so stupid that people couldn't convey intelligent thought.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that now. Wrong thing. Thank you, Bug Dude. I just blanked out. Bug Dude said, got it.
Bug Dude with the wisdom. That book, if any book is ever, if there's any book that I think that like is coming true, it's that one for sure. Like I know it's passé to say that, but a lot of the things that they mention, like I do feel like, you know, the social, they have a form of social credit system in that book's universe. Yep. And they have and where the cameras come into place, they have a TV inside of every house, but it's all, you never know when they're watching you. They could turn the camera on to your house anytime they felt like it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a scary thing, man. And they give everybody like a state rationed I think alcohol of some kind or some kind of drug or something, and that keeps everybody in line and just accepting what their life is. Well, no families, no nothing.
Well, then embrace. Well, that's a premise of the Communist Manifesto: is the destruction of the family to the state. But when you concentrate that much power in a small group of government officials, they're the ones who get corrupt.
Exactly. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, dude. And then they'll that's what, you know, Lenin, you know, he was probably, you know, all this is very controversial, but all the deaths and all the famines, that didn't start happening until after this guy died, and then just Stalin became the premier. And then because they tracked Leon Trotsky down to Mexico and assassinated him, so that way he couldn't come back to become the Soviet Union's leader. Yeah. And then that's what led. And then that's all the starvation, all the bad shit. Millions of people died. They cannibalized their own children. It was a bad time to be alive.
Well, that's Animal Farm. The pig that got run off was a snowflake. He was Trotsky.
Yes, sir.
But in animal form.
Dude, yeah, and at the end of that book, how whenever all the pigs and all the people are dancing together, and they're like, "Oh, I couldn't tell the difference between who is who." Orwell was on a whole nother level, though, man. I really think he was looking ahead of time, like he knew it was going to happen 100 years later.
Mm-hmm. You get those insightful authors, man, and you read the book, and it's been what, 80 years since that book, because it came out in 1948, right?
Yeah, something like 80 something. Yeah, 80, a long time ago, man. Like, but he was a part of the he was in that imperialism era. You know, he was in Bangladesh or something like that. Burma, I believe. He has another book called Burmese Days. That's about whenever he was in the imperial expeditionary forces or whatever. And yeah, y'all should check this man out. I know obviously everybody knows about this guy, but y'all, some of his other stuff is pretty insightful.
Orwell, like, super interesting, dude. You're right.
Like his mind, like what shaped his mind. He's an interesting dude, man. And he started off as a dishwasher.
Yeah, I went back and read some history on him. He is very interesting. It was some very interesting stuff, you know. It's really interesting to me how they use words, you know, like in Arkansas, for instance. This is a right to work state.
Tennessee too, yeah. Well,
see, the thing about it is that they come out with that right to work. Well, they know most people are not going to go research. They're going to be, oh, right to work. Oh yeah, we're all for that. Well, it actually is exactly opposite of what you think. It's for the corporations, for the companies.
Mm-hmm.
They can, if you're just a piece of crap employee, they can just come right in there and fire you.
No reason at all.
No reason, nothing, you know. And so, you know, they use, I mean, think about the Patriot Act.
They basically like, oh, this is about America. This is going to be kicking ass. This is for our
Patriot
safety.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. That was all just so they could, you know, of course, all the Americans at that time were feeling patriotic, you know, we're patriotic, you know, we're standing together for the 9/11 thing, you know. And
But
then,
it became a mass surveillance project.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Leading up to that social credit system in the United States, dudes.
yeah, exactly.
No, that's the truth, guys. That's the truth. It's scary. And I wonder if they're passing these stupid laws, so we'll pay attention to that and not see what other damage they're doing somewhere else.
They'll be passing those other laws at like what, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Yeah, you know, I brought that up about sorry, I was getting some text. So
No, that's fine.
I brought that up about what Chuck Schumer tried to do just before they left for recess, you know, for vacation, Congress. I brought that up before. I'll bring it up again. It was real late on the day they were all, because most everybody had already left for vacation, right? Luckily, Ted Cruz stuck around. Now, love him or hate him, I mean, there's some stuff I don't like about him, you know, but I'll give him props for this. Luckily, he stuck around. Chuck Schumer tried to pass a bill, you know, now this is in the Senate, you know, he tried to pass a bill through that gave the federal government rule over all elections in the United States.
Is that the one Ted Cruz decided to filibuster by himself for like 6 hours?
Yeah. Yes.
What? That sounds epic. I didn't know nothing about it.
He's done that before. Ted Cruz has done that twice. Rand Paul's done it a few times too.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they
I like
were.
Rand Paul a lot.
If Ted Cruz would not have done that, we would have woke up that next morning, and you know Biden would have signed it. We would have woke up to the federal government owning all elections in the United States.
So that's like sheriffs, mayors,
Right.
government officials.
So in other words, the states
right.
right now, by the Constitution, the
School
states
board.
make the federal election districts, and they set the criteria for voting.
Right.
They would have federalized it. Well, you notice under the previous Biden's previous tenure is when they tried to federalize law enforcement from top to bottom. So even community cops would be federal appointees. That failed pretty epically, but still.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, you got to pay attention to these snakes in there, man, because they are not doing this for your best interest. You know, and I've said this part before too. They never try to take away your rights because they intend on giving them back.
Wow.
Scary stuff. That's why we got to pay attention.
Yep. And that's why I was talking about, even with this red flag law, you got to go and hit your state representatives, man. You've got to stay on top of these guys, man, and let them know how you feel, man. Bust them out right there in public, man, in front of everybody, you know. Make people go, whoa, wait a minute, you voted for red
If you
flag
guys
law,
can get
right?
involved in a local election, do it. Support those candidates.
He was talking about walking up to them in public and also asking them questions, and if they wasn't willing to answer your questions, like that means they're not a good person. Shit, I walk up to him too. Next time I find out who it is, I see somebody at the store, I'm gonna walk up to him myself and be like, "Hey, man, so what makes you think you're qualified to affect me and my children's lives? Like, tell me."
Exactly. Yeah, dude, they're nobody special, man. They're nobody special.
Hey, Bushcraft.
Hey,
Bushcraft, what's up, man? These people are nobody special, man. And you gotta see, The only way they get to be special is if we allow them to be special and leave them alone. See, anybody can stand up on the platform up there and talk about, yeah, I'm going to stand for your Second Amendment. I'm going to stand for that, because that's what every one of these son of a guns did right here. All 4 of these names. Them guys are all about talking about when they get ready to get when they get ready to get
Crawford, Hill.
It's yeah, and they stand up there and talk a good game to get everybody, and then they go in there and they sneak around and do this stuff because people don't pay attention.
Yep.
And then you wake up and, you know, if that goes through the Senate and goes, you know, without any opposition, and it goes to the president's desk, you know he's going to sign it. And then all the veterans, including my dad, are going to wake up, you know, having to worry about, you know, even how you act in public. You know, if you've got a, you know, like my dad, Vietnam veteran tag, you know, and somebody sees him acting up a little bit, man, somebody that, you know, one of these people that, you know, are against the wars and don't like all that stuff, they just drop a dime on him, man, and all of a sudden they're raiding my dad, man. I mean, what the hell is this stuff, man?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos where a veteran gets pulled over and they automatically think that he's carrying and all kinds of stuff, and they'll call another squad car up and everything. And it's, but
well, over somebody, you know, that, you know, this is at the end of this is still a human being, you know, a family man, most likely, you know, somebody with a history, you know, who did something to help them out, who served their country, you know, but they're going to do that, show that disrespect to them, you know.
Why they always saying racial profiling and stuff like that, but yet they're doing this to veterans because
they're doing history profile. I've seen one where they did where there's a black or lieutenant, or I think he was a sergeant or something like that, and he was getting racially profiled and he was getting military profiled at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder if they're trying to squash a lot of the veterans, a lot of the former law enforcements, to shut them up. And if they are, why are they putting these guys in a corner? Because, I mean, there are plenty, like I pointed out before, plenty of Hispanic and minority veterans out there.
Patriots.
Why are they trying to marginalize them and kind of put them in a corner because of a small group?
Because they know these people, they'd be commanders and leaders and during a revolution or something like that. I mean, they'd be the people teaching other people how to do stuff.
Yeah, but you got to understand. Look at what Hitler did. I'm telling you, they are following Hitler's playbook to a T. Look at what Hitler did. He had them brown. They had them brown shirts, and he got so worried that they were getting too powerful, you know, that they were getting too good together. You know what I'm saying? That he had them destroyed, man. And that's exactly what, you know, the government wants you to come and serve your country as a vet or law enforcement, you know, as a military or law enforcement. And then after you do that and they're done with you and you're not there no more, look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy you.
Yeah, and he did the with media that spoke the truth. He got rid of them.
Well, and you know, it's the big irony is after he took power, the very people who helped him get power, which was the brown shirts, he formed the SS and the Gestapo and sent the Gestapo after the brown shirts because he knew at some point they'd turn on him with what he was going to do.
Exactly.
So he disbanded them, or he killed them. I don't know.
He wasn't the original leader of the Nazis, though, right? He was originally a spy that was sent in by the by whatever. He was originally a spy sent in there because they were investigating them and shit. Because this is whenever it was called the Weimar Republic. He was sent in there as a spy because, like I said, all these dudes are World War I veterans, and they were they were all meet at these bars and be getting drunk and talking about hateful shit with each other. And then, you know, Hitler, he was sent there as a spy, but he ended up liking what they was talking about, and he ended up taking control over them somehow. You know,
I've seen how easy it would be to take.
Long story, yeah, dude. He did it, dude. Like, but this was somebody that was socially who was, you wouldn't want to even ask this guy like, hey man, can I use your lighter real quick? You wouldn't even want to do that. You know, he was a very off-putting guy. But when he got up in front of people, though, he'd be like stealing their minds from them, taking their souls with his words. And I don't understand how, though. I've watched some of that shit on History Channel, and he's just screaming and shit.
Well, they were all jacked up on meth, man.
Yes, they was, dude.
And Mercury.
Yes, they was.
Yeah.
The medical reasons behind mercury, dude. Yeah, they used to give that in baby medicine and shit. They used to drink it. They used to use lead as baby toys. Yeah, they were. You know, it's funny. They were like the technologically, they were the most advanced country at that time too, or something like that. You know, but if they wouldn't have kicked out a lot of their, probably like a lot of the Jewish people, they had a lot of Jewish World War I veterans who fought for Germany. But if they wouldn't have kicked all those people out, they probably would have conquered the world, though, if they would have kept the Jews there with them for sure. Because that's where, you know, that's where we got all of our, the nuclear scientists were the ones they kicked. But Hitler didn't like nuclear science, though. He thought it was a Jewish science, according to him, and according to his thoughts, though.
He kind of went bonkers.
Yeah, because he was on that meth, dude. He was like, that's why he kept on making bad mistakes that he kept on making. And it was good for the world that he made these mistakes, but he was
some of the stuff, he was ahead of his time, like the highways and stuff that he came up with.
Stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
That was
well, you know, unfortunately you can't forget about, you know, the millions of people, not just the Holocaust victims, but the people that died during the war as well. There are millions of people,
tens of millions, just civilians that got killed.
Mm-hmm.
Between the armies.
A lot of Russians.
If you lived in town, oops, sorry.
Yeah, no town no more. Run away.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean.
Well, gentlemen, I got to get back to it. I just had a little break. I wanted to say hi, and you guys be safe out there.
It's always an honor to talk to you, Roman. We'll see you next time, Bubba.
Thank you.
Have a good day at work.
Roman, be good.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Be safe, Bubba. I'm gonna let you guys rap with each other for 10 seconds. I keep on getting freaking. Because I keep on getting. I'm gonna have to. I keep on getting rang up by my I guess my wife, I guess, you know, my ex-wife, I don't know, but I keep on getting rung. And we might have to call it, ring it up right here too, fellas.
Yeah, that's cool.
I know you just popped on Bushcraft. I hate
that. I actually got out today, first time in.
You feeling better, man? Hey, Bushcraft, he got the vid recently. You know that, Backwoods?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was not feeling good with that shit. A lot of people I work with ain't got it. But guys,
last time you didn't sound too good.
Yeah, I was not feeling. I told you, because I told you, Backwoods. I thought I had that shit. You know, I thought I had that shit a couple weeks ago, last week or something, dude. You gonna go get that stuff for your deer spot?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get all the stuff for my deer hunting spot and come back and probably watch some TV westerns and wait for my wife to work. And
we'll be I'll be having reruns going of Late Night Hideout. If you guys, you know, if you get anybody ever gets bored, y'all want some to listen to, go to sleep to. We have a Southern Belle teacher was on some of these things. We have some people that were never on any live streams, and they'll never be on one again, who are on some of these things. So it's worth a listen.
Yeah, yesterday I had to take a break from because the last like Saturday night and Friday night I was up to 5 a.m. Backwoods was up there.
I know you'll be going on. You'll be doing. You two dudes will be doing like 12-hour live streams sometimes between everybody's shows and shit, between 3 or 4 channels.
Oh yeah, there's been plenty of times I've come out here 6, 7 o'clock in the evening and end up going on a live stream and not leaving until like 6 in the morning.
See, I've fallen asleep during ones that go on too long. I think you guys have I would have to, like, I'll get somebody to call me. Hutch will call me and she'll be like, hey, yo, dude, wake up. You're falling asleep.
Yeah. All right. Peace, y'all. I've had a great time, man. I appreciate you letting me come up.
Yeah, we'll do it again, man. It's always an honor to talk to you guys, man. Dude, backwoods, bushcraft, dude. Like, we got me. I'm here. I'm the young dude. And we got you two easers here and shit. We trade knowledge, getting it. But it's always good to talk to you, man. I love it, man. But, this show is one of the honors of my life, dude. I ain't making no money off this shit, dude. I don't have any expectations of it. I'm like, I do this because, like, we get to sit here and talk about shit, that, we're sitting talking to like-minded individuals. That's why I love this shit, dude. I live for this shit. This is everything.
Are you trying to say you ain't going to hang out online and beg for money and so that you can keep hanging out online?
Shit, dude, we see what's good. I mean, if people want to give me some money, I'll take it. Straight up, all day. That would be used for the show all day. I'll use it for the show. Use it for my kids. Like, like for real, dude.
I'm being ornery.
Oh, dude, I'm being a little cantankerous, dude. I expect it out of you.
I'm happy I get enough to pay my internet bill.
See, that's what I ultimately would do with it. Any funds that I would get, I would use. Look, we got somebody shouting it out too right here. I'm gonna check that out probably after this. All right. Well, I'll see you guys, man. I'm gonna be having that 24-hour live stream. I'll probably start it after this, but if anybody goes live, I'll cut it off and shit.
All right, man.
Take care.
Check out Bushcraft's video first, though. Everybody else should do the same thing too.
Catch you later.
Peace, y'all.